Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to share with you a very effective and easy at-home activity that you can do with your kiddo that promotes self-care. First, let's talk about the importance of self-care. It is crucial that our youth understand that self-care is not, in fact, selfish, and it's not a buzzword. I know that it's something that we've been hearing more and more about in social media, but it's been all for the right reasons. It is a basic need of a human being. And it's also highly important that we teach our child by establishing both nurturing routines and participating in things that bring us joy is a way of showing ourselves that we do love ourselves. What is self-care? Self-care for a young person is any activity that helps them recharge their emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental batteries. Developing a self-care routine involves helping young people identify their distinct physical and emotional needs. And by doing this, we can assist them in creating their own personalized toolbox of self-care activities that address any of those needs. Staying consistent with self-care helps improve our mood, allows for emotional regulation, and reduces our levels of stress. Let's get to the activity. So what I have to share with you today is the Kids Help Phone Self-Care Checklist. We will add a link to this in the description, so you'll be able to click on the link and print it at home, and you'll be able to do this activity with your kiddo. I found this activity, I just stumbled across it when I was looking at some of the resources on the Kids Help Phone website, and I printed it off and I started bringing it into my office, and I started utilizing it with youth and children, and I learned that they really actually enjoyed participating in this, and we were able to develop really engaging conversations around what self-care looks like, right? Because sometimes people have this idea that self-care is just brushing their teeth or it's just having a shower, but it actually goes beyond that. How I use this activity is on the checklist. There's a list of items. So for example, I make self-care a priority every day. I'm kind to myself. I take breaks to do things that I enjoy. What I do is I go through that list with the youth. I have them check off all of the items that they participate in, what they truly feel that they're doing well at, and then I have them put a star beside the items that they think they can improve on. I then have them take it home and discuss with their parents and say, hey, this is what I learned today about self-care. I'm going to leave this checklist on my dresser. I'm going to leave this checklist on the fridge. And every single day, I'm going to make sure that these are some of the things that I participate in, whether it be something that I'm already doing that I think I could do more of, or maybe one of those starred items that I think that I would really like to add to my list. And how you can include this in your routine, what you could do is you could have a little check-in where you could say Mondays and Wednesdays you're going to check in to see what's been happening in terms of self-care. You could have a little mark on the calendar where you have to do a check mark that says I've done my self-care for the day. You could put it on the fridge. You could have it put on their dresser. Even as a parent, you could print your own checklist and you could say, these are some of the items that I do and these are some of the things that I would like to get better at. So you could both do a check-in on Saturday and see how that's going, do a daily check-in, whichever works best for your family. As parents, we want to see our kids succeed. So we can do this by supporting them with the necessary tools to grow, to develop, and help them understand that they have the capacity to nurture their own mindset and regulate their own well-being. Preparing children with positive self-care strategies also empowers them to be mindful of their emotional, mental, and physical health. By fostering a growth mindset alongside these positive coping strategies and good self-care habits, youth will look at life through a more positive lens and will less likely to be held back by mental barriers. And remember, you can use the checklist just as a starting point. However, I would encourage you to either add to this list or even create their own. And while going through the checklist with your kiddo, it's important to give positive reinforcing feedback. So let's say your child says they do relaxing activities or I like to try new things, right? So giving them feedback that's like, wow, that's amazing that you like to try new things. Is there anything that you think can you think of that you haven't tried yet that you would like to participate in? How can I help you with that? If they check off something like, I'm kind to myself, giving them feedback that says, that is so amazing that you're kind to yourself. Can you give me an example of a time when you were kind to yourself? Not only is this a helpful activity for your youth to understand what self-care really looks like and how to incorporate more in their lives day to day, it's also a great way to have a conversation with your kiddo and get to know them a little bit better. Encourage your child to check in with themselves, right? If they're kind of struggling one day, maybe there's a lot going on at school, maybe they feel a little bit more stressed out than usual, maybe their mood seems a little bit off. It's a great time to say, hey, what self-care activities have you participated in today? Lastly, parents, don't forget about your own self-care routine and how important it is that your children see that you are taking time out of your day, even if it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, to participate in your own self-care routine. When we meet our own mental and physical needs, it not only benefits our well-being, it benefits our child's well-being as well.